During 1937, the U.S. Army Air Corps presented a requirement: construct a fighter speedy enough to engage hostile bombers at 20,000 feet. Though many planes still had one engine, Lockheed's group, headed by a youthful engineer, Clarence Kelly Johnson, accepted a risk. They conceived a thing never witnessed previously: a dual-boom fighter aircraft having two power plants and a middle nacelle. The initial model, designated XP-38, appeared odd, even foreign to conventional aviators. Yet its inaugural flight demonstrated a novelty: velocity and ascent capabilities beyond all other craft airborne. By early 1939, the P-38 gained notoriety, flying from shore to shore in only 7 hours, establishing an American speed benchmark. The media dubbed it the nation's clandestine wondercraft. Nevertheless, on that benchmark trip, the initial model went down near New York owing to frozen carburetors. Lockheed's engineering team did not surrender. They perfected the concept, enhancing dependability and operational handling. By 1941, the U.S. Army placed orders for many, wagering the Lightning would outperform any German craft. As America joined World War II, the P-38 was among the scarce U.S. fighters able to fly to Europe from England. Its extended range resulted from dual Allison power plants and turbo superchargers, yielding high elevation capabilities well past early Spitfires or Bf-109s. German intelligence initially ignored it as a bomber escort trial, but shortly, Luftwaffe aviators started to face it above the Mediterranean, and their amusement ceased abruptly. In its initial engagements above North Africa, the Lightning demonstrated its lethality. It ascended quicker, dove more sharply, and could return home with one engine. German aviators gave it the name Der Gabelschwanz Teufel, the fork-tailed devil. For the first time, the Luftwaffe understood this peculiar dual-boom aircraft wasn't a novelty. It was a danger. By mid-1943, P-38s were conducting deep escort flights over Italy and destroying Axis transport vessels along the shore. American aviators adored it. Differing from most fighters, the P-38 featured retractable landing gear, counter-rotating propellers, and 4 50-caliber machine guns, plus a 20mm cannon, all located in the nose, eliminating convergence problems. It could destroy enemy bombers and fighters with equal ease. German ace Adolf Galland supposedly noted it was the sole Allied fighter he genuinely held in high regard. And this was only the start. The Lightning had yet to achieve its maximum potential. By 1943, the P-38 was America's principal extended-range fighter in the Mediterranean zone. German aviators in Messerschmitts and Focke-Wulfs were amazed at the Lightning's ability to ascend and descend without stalling and its steadiness at great heights. In aerial combat, its supercharged power plants provided an advantage over 25,000 feet, an altitude where Luftwaffe engines started to fail. Even when damaged, the Lightning's dual-engine configuration permitted pilots to return on a single functioning prop. One of the Lightning's early experts was Major John Jack H.P. Frost, who achieved numerous victories against Axis planes in the Mediterranean arena. Aviators learned to employ the plane's boom and zoom methods, descending quickly, shooting, and ascending away before the slower German planes could counter. The P-38's capability at high elevation was also vital for photo reconnaissance flights, where it surpassed everything the Luftwaffe dispatched. However, the Lightning had flaws. Its cabin heating unit performed poorly in the frigid environments above Europe, and aviators occasionally flew bundled in many garments to endure. In reaction, Lockheed's team acted swiftly to alter the equipment. Despite its peculiarities, the P-38 stayed the one American fighter that could guide bombers completely to Germany and return until late 1943. It secured time pending the P-51 Mustang's introduction. In a single flight over Italy, P-38s engaged a big group of German bombers protected by Bf-109s. Employing cooperation and elevation superiority, the Lightnings devastated the formation. German accounts later detailed the dual-engine fighters as appearing from thin air. Following that, the Luftwaffe released new strategies expressly for opposing the P-38, evidence of their newfound serious respect. As output accelerated, Lockheed struggled to match the need. Thousands of Lightnings were produced at the Burbank, California facility, each individually checked before shipment. Concurrently, American propaganda shorts started featuring the P-38 as an icon of technological dominance. For German aviators, it transformed from a peculiar twin-engine craft to a silver-painted terror racing overhead. While the P-38 gained esteem in Europe, it achieved true iconic status in the Pacific. The vast distances between isles required range and stamina, precisely what the Lightning provided. From Guadalcanal to New Guinea, the dual-engine fighter emerged as the primary tool of U.S. Army Air Force campaigns. Japanese pilots, accustomed to lightweight Zeros, were astounded to meet a craft that could both withstand damage and ascend faster. In the warm, damp Pacific environment, ground crews waged continuous struggles against decay and tropical conditions. Still, the P-38 continued flying, frequently from temporary jungle landing strips carved from the terrain. Aviators rested in shelters near their planes, awaiting morning assaults. Its range and dual engines provided crews belief to venture over vast seas, a hazard few single-engine craft could take. Then followed one of the war's boldest missions, Operation Vengeance. In April 1943, U.S. codebreakers deciphered Japanese communications, outlining the itinerary of Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, Pearl Harbor's planner. A group of P-38s was selected to fly a 1,000-mile round trip, flying low above the water to intercept his aircraft. The operation stretched the plane's range and the pilot's stamina to their maximum. On April 18, 1943, the P-38s caught Yamamoto's transport above Bougainville. Captain Thomas Lanphier and Lieutenant Rex Barger executed the strike, causing the admiral's plane to fall into the jungle. The Japanese Navy was aghast. For the Allies, it represented a symbolic stroke of retribution, a signal that no foe was unreachable. The P-38 conveyed that signal over many miles of sea. Following Yamamoto's demise, the P-38 kept dominating Pacific airspace. It protected bombers, struck vessels, strafed convoys, and was the chosen craft of America's leading aces, like Richard Bong and Thomas Maguire, both Medal of Honor awardees. For the Japanese, the dual-engine shape signaled imminent ruin. And for American aviators, it was the craft that could venture anywhere, engage anything, and get them back. By 1944, new versions of the P-38, notably the J and L models, came back to Europe, enhanced and combat-proven. They included superior cabin heating, boosted engine capability, and improved aiming devices. The U.S. 8th Air Force then used them for long-distance protection, flying deep into Germany beside bombers. Their stamina provided a special function, shielding the bombers entirely to Berlin and back. German aviators were doubtful at first. They were accustomed to engaging P-47s and Mustangs, but the Lightning's velocity and dual-engine configuration disrupted their methods. Its opposite-spinning propellers canceled torque effects, letting pilots descend quicker and ascend more directly. Some Luftwaffe accounts detail conflicts where a single Lightning diverted multiple German fighters, letting bombers flee. It was apparent this aircraft wasn't merely an escort, it was an unsolved difficulty. Yet the Lightning met fresh threats. By late 1944, the Messerschmitt Me-262, the first operational jet, materialized overhead. The Lightning lacked its pure speed, but expert pilots adjusted. They struck during liftoff and landing, times the jet's engines were exposed. In those instances, the P-38's maneuverability and powerful weapons gave it a chance even against aviation's future. As the Allies pushed toward triumph, P-38 groups became experts in ground assault duties. They wrecked trains, convoys, and radar installations, hamstringing German supply lines. A single run from a Lightning could deliver machine gun rounds, cannon projectiles, and also rockets. Aviators quipped it was, quote, like flying a sword with engines, unquote. Every destroyed target meant fewer German aircraft airborne the next day. By the war's concluding months, P-38 units had cultivated a terrifying legacy. In Europe, they had overcome cold, anti-aircraft fire and determined Luftwaffe opposition. In the Pacific, they ruled vast stretches and jungle canopies. No other American fighter served so broadly or so capably. On both war fronts, the P-38 had demonstrated one fact conclusively: ingenuity had overcome hubris. When World War II at last concluded, thousands of P-38s rested silently on airfields spanning Europe and the Pacific. Many were flown past their limits, mended, fixed, and forced through unbelievable operations. For the pilots who survived, the Lightning was more than a device. It was a preserver. It returned them from fiery skies when no different plane could. And for those not returning, their P-38s were recalled like departed friends. After the war, technology progressed rapidly. Jets supplanted piston engines, and the P-38 was withdrawn from active duty. But its impact was clear. Its configuration, dual engines, tricycle landing gear, sleek body, helped shape early jet models and long-range interceptors of the Cold War. For Lockheed, the experience gained from the P-38 led straight to subsequent icons like the F-80 Shooting Star and U-2 spy plane. In museums and aerial displays today, restored Lightnings continue to fly, dual booms shining in the light, engines emitting that distinctive deep rumble. Veterans viewing them frequently stop, recalling comrades, flights, and the incredible challenges they met. The P-38 endures as an icon of American ingenuity and tenacity, a reminder that bold concepts can alter a war's direction. Historians occasionally question which Allied fighter was the war's finest: the Spitfire, the Mustang, the Thunderbolt. But the Lightning stood apart. It operated from the war's initial days to its end in every main arena. It was fast, durable, and unconventional. And its service, over 10,000 produced and thousands of enemy aircraft downed, was more eloquent than any viewpoint. Ultimately, the Germans ceased their amusement. The peculiar dual-boom fighter they once dismissed became one of the war's most efficient and esteemed aircraft. For America, the P-38 Lightning demonstrated what bravery and ingenuity could accomplish when joined with engineering brilliance. It did not merely outperform its foes, it rewrote the definition of a fighter aircraft. And for observers who watched it race through the air, dual tails shining in the light, it was obvious the Lightning deserved its title.